Hey, it's Terry Vanover with Choosing to Rise. I am a divorce strategist and I help you come through divorce without being legally, financially, and emotionally devastated. But even more importantly, I help you to heal from your divorce so that you can transition confidently into that next phase of your life. So you can go on to do what you're meant to do and find a happy, healthy new relationship and be the best person you are always meant to be. So I just wrapped up our parenting workshop, parenting under stress workshop. So I thought I'd share some tips for how to handle the stress, how to deal with your kids under extreme stress. So, I understand, right? If you're going through divorce, you're in the most extreme stress that you can be. And then add a global pandemic on top of it, and I can't even imagine the stress because it was tough enough when I was going through everything that I was going through. I lost my home, I lost my marriage, I lost my health because I was hit by a van, I lost my mom. I pretty much just my financial security. I made so many mistakes when I was going through my divorce. It's it's obnoxious. I don't even know who that woman was. I really don't. So I came through it and I decided I wanted to help other people avoid the mistakes that I made from my divorce. But not only that, but give you the tools and give you the exercises and the things that you need so you can heal yourself so that you come out of this even better than how you went into the marriage, being your best self. Because you can look at this as an opportunity for growth. You can look at this as a way to find and transform who you're meant to be, your best self. So, learn how to release that shame, learn how to have a healthy relationship, learn to stop having toxic relationships. I see so many people who come to me because the problem is it's not the first time. They keep repeating their patterns over and over and over. And I was one of those too. I repeated my pattern. Good Lord. So, and that was one of the biggest regrets. And that was one of the biggest challenges that I had to go through was the shame and the guilt of not healing myself to begin with. So I didn't have to go through everything that I went through. So today I'm going to be sharing some of the parenting tips that I just did with if you're parenting under extreme duress, right? Like if you're under extreme stress, how do you handle the stress? How do you handle the overwhelm? So the first thing that you need to do is you need to take responsibility for your own emotions and your own healing. And it's not about blaming, but I think often we use the term like he's making me so mad or she's making me so this, right? And here's the truth. No one can make you anything, but you can allow someone to control your emotions, especially when it comes to our kids. Like the phrase that went through my mind is like, really, am I really going to give my 4-year-old control over me? I'm not going to allow my 4-year-old to like control my emotions. So it's important we as adults understand how to like control ourselves, and we're modeling self-regulation for our kids, but we have it in our control. So the first step is really stepping up for yourself and understanding that you have control. You control your emotions. No one can make you do anything, or no one can make you feel anything. Those are things that you make a choice to feel. So it's important that you understand that you're responsible for that and learn how to manage that and control that. Secondly, I would invite you to, I started this topic with stress is anger in disguise. That's what stress is, right? So what is anger? So that's where I want to redefine what anger is, because I think that's where we need to go, because stress is anger in disguise, and anger is really unmet expectations. It's about your expectations not being met, right? So if you're under stress, it's the expectation that you have for what's going on versus what is really, really, really happening. So you might be under stress because you have an expectation that you're going to get your work done from home online, and your kids are coming in and they're bugging you and they're needy and they need this and they need that. But the truth is, it's the expectations. If you expect, hey, my kids are going to interrupt, they're going to come in, they're going to bother me, they're going to be noise in the background like mine, like I just expect it. So it's not causing me stress. And the thing for me as a working mom, I work from home and always have, is that this was life for me. But now everyone's in the same boat, so we can all give each other compassion and grace and understand. So understand that you need to look at your expectations. What are my expectations? Where do I need to adjust my expectations, right? Because disappointment, anger, those are unmet expectations, unfulfilled needs. So if you're disappointed with someone, it's probably because you had an expectation or you had a need and it was unfulfilled. It was unmet. You have an expectation that you're going to get your work done. You're going to work for an hour. The kids aren't going to bother you for that snack, but 10 minutes later, they're in. So the expectations are what sets us up for that. So how do you manage the expectations? Well, I am a big, 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 big proponent of self-care, 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 and it needs to step up right now. And I love working out. I love being physical. I love hiking outside. I love doing outdoor races, those types of things. So I take care of my body. But I will tell you that one of the biggest, most transformative practices that I put into my life, and I'm not going to get woo-woo on you, but it's meditation. Meditation has been life-changing. I tell you what, it has changed my marriage for the better, changed me as a mother. And again, it's all about embracing and accepting what is. It's about living presently, being in the moment. It's about getting really still with the shitstorm that is your mind. Mine is a shitstorm. Maybe yours is great, but there's a lot of chaos. And so getting still with that chaos and being okay with that chaos and learning how to still the mind and not allowing your thoughts to control you, because that's what happens, right? We allow our thoughts to control us. The thoughts trigger our emotions. So we can understand how to control our emotions by not getting entangled with those thoughts. And meditation is a really great practice. And listen, if you're resistant to that term, I'm all about taking like woo-woo terms and just breaking it down to plain language, which is just getting still with yourself, just taking some time to observe your thoughts, not getting entangled with your thoughts, just those thoughts. What I love about or getting some time and putting practice in place, a mindful practice in place, is that you also become less reactionary. You're able to go, whoa, wait a minute, what is that? I don't have to believe that thought. I don't have to get engaged with that thought. I can just let that go and not get entangled with it, because that's really where we get ourselves in trouble, because we get emotionally entangled with our thoughts. We believe those thoughts, which aren't even truths, not even reality. And also what I love about mindfulness is getting present with yourself and getting present with your kids. Like I really have to I'm a go-getter, I'm a doer, I'm a kind of a I'm a type A personality, as you could call it. And so the mindfulness practice has really helped me balance that and really be cognizant of being present with my children and balanced with my children. So the last thing that I want to say, what was the last thing that I want to tell you about, like that, to really get present, to get, there was one other thing in the workshop. So the workshop was really, really, and I'm a little tired, so that's part of it. But also understanding that I think I'm going live on my own page rather than in my group. So I apologize, because this was supposed to be my practice video, just so you know. So, but Facebook is doing some weird things. So I don't know if y'all have noticed that. I'm struggling with Facebook lately. So I want to apologize that this isn't, I didn't write out a script for this, because I just did my workshop, but I'm a little more tired than I anticipated that I would be. So practice in there, you being, putting in your mindfulness practice and set an intention, right? So that's another thing that we do as a family. We set our intentions as a family, but also individually. I'll ask my kids, what do you want to create tomorrow? What's your intention for tomorrow? Now I do this obviously before when they were going to school, but I actually have like doubled down on this, and I've doubled down on our self-care practices with the added stress. So I want to make sure that every day we are getting mindful of our intentions, because we're in close quarters now, so we need to make sure we're sticking to our intentions. And a lot of times I'm really impressed at how honed in my kids are on what they need to have an intention for. I'm always really impressed. My oldest will always say, or sometimes she'll say, I'm going to be kind to my sister who gets on her nerves a lot, which I understand. So she's going to practice kindness with her sister. Or she's like, I'm going to be a leader for my sister during this time. That's been a big one for her during this quarantine. We're calling it Q school, y'all. Q school, quarantine school. And oh, I remember the last thing now. So I think if more parents would go back to their future self, right? So reach into, I think we get so caught up in the stress of the here and now, we don't think about, and I called it have no regrets. We need to get to our future self. So what a big thing that I do with my clients when they're struggling with the decision, or when they're in a really difficult time in their life, is I have them think from a place of future self. So right now, moms and dads all across the country are struggling, and they're hating their kids, and it's a rough time. And here's the thing, you have to think about that this will go away. And a year from now, I want you to think about, when I look back and I look back at this time, what memory do I want to create? What do I want my children to think about? What do I want to have? What's the legacy from this time that we've had together? And boy, that can shift your perspective, right? You can go from, so for me, I want this time to be a time of quality, and a time of like, hey, I'm not going to sweat the little stuff. Yeah, academics, we're going to do the best we can. We're not going to sweat it, because, I'm a former teacher, and the kids get a summer break, and they get that break and they get right back into school, and they pick right back up. So I'm not going to destroy my kids' emotional well-being and mental well-being for the sake of academics, because I know that their emotional well-being is just as important or more important than that, because they need to feel safe right now. They need to feel loved. They need to know that they're not a burden right now, that this is a safe place, that mom is at ease, mom is at peace, mom's not anxious. So, so that's another benefit of the meditation too. It really keeps your anxiety at bay. Physical exercise helps with the anxiety. And I have some other strategies for people that struggle with anxiety. And so there's some real significant exercises and things that you can put into place to make this time a time of joy. It doesn't have to be a time of stress. It can be a time where you and family come together. You can set an intention, and you can live to that intention, and you can create this time from your future self, right? So look, if you're struggling, if this is a difficult time, I've just shared just a couple of strategies, and I just did an hour-and-a-half workshop on this. So I know there's so much more that we could cover. So if you're struggling during this time, if you want more insights, more strategies, more exercises to help you through this, so that you can make sure that you're looking at this as a time of togetherness, and I'm happy to hop on a call with you, and we can share some specific insights into your specific situation, because I've been there, right? Like I said, I went through a devastating, horrible divorce, and it was by far the worst time of my life. I lost everything: my home, my financial stability, my health, my mom, family, friends. It was just the darkest time. And I didn't have a global pandemic on top of everything else, all this chaos that's going on. So I understand how difficult this time is. And I came through it, and I look back, and again, I don't know who that woman was, because she made mistakes that I can't even believe. But when we're under emotional duress, right, it changes us, and we're not our best self. So I came through it, And I learned what you need to be your best. And I learned how to heal those childhood traumas that led to my divorce so that I could go on and have a happy marriage with my fantastic, lovely husband, who turns out to be a little bit of a nerd. I know that is what I learned about working from home. Like we're learning stuff about each other. He's a nerd, y'all. I did not know because he's like cool. I think of him like cool New York guy. And I was like, oh yeah, there's the IT nerd. I see it now. So, but see, I love him so much. So, and we just have a great family, and I have a great relationship with my ex and his fantastic ex, his new wife, I should say, his new bride. I love her, and we're very close, and we work together. And so now I help people to come through their divorce and struggling marriages and understand that you can create a family that is happy and healthy and loving. So, again, if you're struggling through this time, if you want some more tips for releasing your anxiety, for finding your joy again with this everything that's going on, it is so possible. Just reach out to me here on Facebook, and we'll hop on a call. Okay, gonna go see my nerd husband now. Talk to you all soon. Have a great week. Bye bye.